welcome to United View. Welcome to Flex on the beach. Yes, or Flex in the sea. That's right. I'm actually. Oh, I just fell down. Oh, I just fell down. Look, see that? I nearly actually just fell down. But I'm not going to edit that bit out because it needs to be pure content, original content, live from inner JA. Okay, now I've got my little trip and fall out the way. Let's get into today's video. Josh, do not edit that bit out. I want this to be just as consistent and as real as it is, yeah, because we're actually out here in the flesh. Is it? Ten Hag transfer battle. I want to get into that because there was a lot made about this. I've been seeing it a lot on social media. You know, sometimes we can talk about players, sometimes we can talk about individuals and incoming bid and talks begin and talks break down and stuff like this. But I wanted to do something a little bit more generic today. Hopefully you guys can still hear me over that wind, but I'm going to project my voice like this so you guys can. Ten Hag's transfer battle, and what I was looking at is the likes of people like Manchester City and Liverpool, basically all the teams that are better than us. Yeah, all the teams that are better than us coming in and taking our transfer targets. So I saw, I think it was the Express that were reporting that basically Liverpool are looking to now jump in on the Calvin Phillips situation alongside Manchester City. There was talks about Pep Guardiola jumping in with Frankie de Jong. But the way you got to see it is this. These are our main targets, supposedly. People like Ruben Neves, etc., etc. Arsenal going in for him, and you can laugh and say we're not Arsenal, but at the end of the day, we're both in Europa League. They've had a couple of years under their manager. We're about to start something new, but you can't just act like we're just 1,000,000% better than them. They finished above us. What my point is that actually Ten Hag's actually got a massive battle on his hands, because he might be saying to himself, all right, cool, I want this player, I want that player. But like I said, players do actually need, convincing to come to us. They do. It's not enough. It's not enough for us to just be, saying we want to get this player, why haven't they signed yet, this, that and the other. There's going to be transfers that are going to stall, and there's going to be people who are going to try and nick the players that we're in for, because we're competing with a lot of clubs. We're not in that one pool club anymore when we're going to pick up the phone, ring a player, and that player says, I'm on my way. Do you know what I mean? I've changed hands already. That's 2 minutes, 10 seconds, and I've already had to change hand once. As Josh would say, disgraceful settings, but I ain't got that steady hand that Josh has got. Do you know what I mean? He's used to that shit, not me. So if you keep seeing me changing hands, that's just what it has to be. No apologies given, yeah? But back to what I was saying. It's actually going to be a really interesting battle, because Erik Ten Hag has to balance getting players that we need for the future and for now, etc., versus the ones that might say, well, we don't want to come. I've got a Champions League team knocking for me, or I've got a team that's more stable than you. I've got a team that's challenging for leagues come knocking for me. And it's actually a big battle, especially with the likes of in the domestic league. If Manchester City pick up the phone to Frankie de Jong versus us, Pep Guardiola could say, all right, cool, Gundogan's leaving. You can take his spot. All right, you might have to work for a place in the starting 11, but that might only be the unique selling point, is that Man United can offer him more first-team football in terms of starting games. But we still got a battle on our hands. We are not going to be able to just pick up the phone and say, yo, you're coming Man United. Yo, you're coming Man United. People still need, convincing to come to the football club. And the more you think about it, actually, the more worrying it is. And I'm not even trying to be pessimistic, because I'm in the best of moods right now, yeah? Living my life. The sun is sunning. The melanin is menelining. Not even a word. But I'm nice, yeah? I'm not even trying to be on the negative vibes, but you do have to kind of say to yourself, you know what? There is something in it. Change hands again, that's another 2 minutes later. There is something in it, because that's just the realist position of where we're in. So if we can get players on a free, that'll be great. The other transfer battle that I wanted to talk about is actually the prices, because there's talks of Dean Henderson leaving. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Phil Jones is being looked at. Talk a little bit about that in a second. And we need to raise money from player sales. But also, there's this thing that we need, like young players, right? And I'm all for it. We're all for rebuilding the squad. But I'm going to be honest, I think that we've gone a little bit too far. Or not we, I say some people, because it's all about opinion. Everyone's got different opinions. What I've seen a lot of is people saying, oh, I don't want to get that player because he's too old. We need to learn from that. And that's true. But this is what I mean about the transfer battle, because Ten Hag has to work out how is he going to get a balance of players that are for the future, but also try and get some experience / value in the market where players might be a little bit cheaper because they're older, and might not have as much sell-on value and stuff like that, who can actually come in and implement something now. And I hate to take it back to the Kante situation, because it's not about I really want him, and it's not that, because I don't think that's going to happen. But in terms of a player like that who's been there and done it and taken the risk, I think we're going to need a couple of experienced players in there. Like, everybody wants to find the next Kante, I get it, the next Declan Rice, or the next this or the next that. and wants to find, you know, that sweet spot of players that are looking for their next stage in the career. All the thing that Ralph said before he effed off, yeah? I get that. And we need that. I 100% agree with that new transfer policy. That's why you look at Frankie de Jong, you look at Timber, these types of players, if Pau Torres, they fit that profile. But also, back to the, like what I'm saying about the transfer battle, Erik ten Hag also needs to find value in the market and find some players who do have relatively, you know, a lot of experience. Because what you don't want is what happened to Arsenal when you get towards the end and you get a bit of a blowout, because the players are all too young. They don't quite have that know-how, which is understandable. The manager's young or quite new to the situation, and they fall short. And then you say, where's the experienced players? So look, it's about squad building. I get it. And I'm not saying, listen, do not get me wrong. I'm not saying for one moment, stop what we're doing now because we've got the complete wrong strategy. We need to go for older players. I'm not saying that. Because if we get De Jong, we get Timber, that's fantastic. But then you could sprinkle a bit more experience in there with one player. Because also that's where the value of the market's going to be. So let me know what you guys think about that. I want to be interested to see what you say. Have I got it all wrong? Do we only need to be going for young players only? Is that, you know, have you been burnt so much by the older players that, you know, you just don't want to go there? You know, I know people use the worst case scenarios. People like Willian, I get it. The Mata situation, the Matic situation, not so much Mata, but the Matic situation. I get it. We've been burnt before by getting older players. I get it. But for me, I just think we can't forget that a little bit of experience is not a bad thing. That's all I'm saying. A little bit of experience for me is not a bad thing. I like it. I like it. But I get it. We do need De Jong. We do need Timber. We do need those players off that ilk as well. You're looking at Darwin Núñez. Huge sums of money. Huge sums of money. But value is out there. And that's the transfer battle that Ten Hag has to balance up. Cost versus experience versus youth. And teams that are just outright better than us trying to come and take our players. Dean Henderson potentially on the way out of Old Trafford. Newcastle talks are still going on. Oh, someone just got licked in the head at volleyball. Hope that's not a kid. Hope they're all right. Oh, someone's running over. I think they're all right. Dean Henderson supposedly on his way out of Old Trafford. That's just rumbling on. I think we need to get that done. We talk about sell on value. We need to get that done, because he's someone who can generate at least 20, 25 million, maybe even 30 with the English Man United tax as well. And Newcastle obviously got peas. But that leads me into David De Gea nicely, because a lot of people are looking at Luis Enrique's comments. I saw Marcel saying this is why we need a proper keeper, etc., etc. He's not going to win us titles. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. And people listening to what Luis Enrique was saying about why he's not picking David De Gea for the national team. And remember when I'd done that piece with Alvaro last week. I think it was last week or a couple of weeks. Time is a bit out. When he was talking about the Spanish national team and the fact that De Gea basically don't get any love and no one feels sorry for him, and he's been very underwhelming at national team level. Look, I still stick with what I was initially saying, which is the fact that David De Gea, I think, is the least of our worries to replace right now. Would I give him a new contract? No, I wouldn't. I agree with that. I would not give him a new contract. For me, I think you play him for a year under Ten Hag, let him be in that leadership group or whatever, in the constants, doing his thing, making saves while Ten Hag can concentrate on the real shit that's in the team, which is the midfield, which is the fullbacks, which is the centre-backs, which is, you know, I'm not saying the wingers are shit, but they definitely need coaching and we need more quality in that area. But we know where the problem areas are. I'm having central midfielders, centre-backs and fullbacks before I'm having a new keeper this season. So I actually do agree with the limitations in David De Gea's game. We see it week in, week out. You know, I'm at Old Trafford in the front row every week in the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. You see the distribution problems with David De Gea. You see sometimes that, you know, he sometimes doesn't maybe come and command his box as much, or he can't hit, you know, 30-yard diags straight to people's feet, and he's not very proactive with coming off his line. Okay, I understand that. And you see on Twitter yesterday, Courtois and Goldbridge, Mark getting into it yesterday, which I thought was quite funny. That's good for the game. We want players to be interacting with people, so that was good. That was good to see. But he was coming out and defending himself, basically saying, like, you know, well, this is what I do. I can play ball. Put respect on my name. I like it. And you're looking at what Courtois is doing, and that's what you want. A couple of times in the Champions League final, when the pressure was really on, he was coming out and claiming crosses. Mendy does the same thing. Even though he flaps a little bit, he's got a little bit to work on, you still have that imposing figure. So yes, you need to be a good shot stopper, and I understand the ways the game's going, especially under Erik ten Hag. But just this one season, when he's got so much to change, so much to fix, just stick with David De Gea for me. I ain't trying to, you know, or if you're gonna, Keep Dean Henderson and make him number one, and if you think he can be that. But I don't think he can be that. I think that makes us worse. At this point in time, when our playing style's not right, I think we just need a great shot stopper right now. The next level of the evolution, not a problem. Not a problem. Get rid of David De Gea then. He's had his time. What would that be? Over 12 years at the club by then or something like that. And then sign him off. I don't believe in giving him a new contract though, especially when we've been burnt with that before, and especially before we started playing with the new manager. And I kind of learnt my lesson with that after the Bruno situation. I think I'll probably eat humble pie on that one. Anyway, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Look at this, man. Thank you to everyone sending messages as well, DMing me on Instagram, getting involved in the comments, saying that you're here in JA, in the motherland. Yes, I haven't been back for so many years, man. I've got my family out here, my grandparents. I am Jamaican by heritage. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, big up to everyone in the Caribbean, and big up to everyone for the love as well and the support on the channel. Make sure you can remember, links in the video description below. You can get your links to the 500k party. 500k party? I wish. 100k party. But that's what I've been doing. See what I'm saying? Since I've been in Jamaica, I've been manifesting things. That's why it's good to get away. Look at this. Look at this. When you see this every morning, yeah, you don't just sit here and just don't take it all in. You manifest things. So that's why 500k is on my mind, because that's the next milestone. But yeah, 100k party, O2 Arena, 19th of June at London's top of social football interactive space. Make sure you guys get your tickets. I'm out of it. Peace.